All right, it is Thursday, January 15th, 2015. This is Chad Corbett with All the Leads, our host for the day, since Jim Sullivan is going to his son's graduation. And we were, before the recording started, just discussing, we'll start with, since we're on topic, how some of us are actually scrubbing our data to get only the leads that actually owned real estate. And nationwide, there's around 64%. Last year, just under 65% of people owned a home. So it's safe to assume that when those people pass away, that home will need to be dealt with. In my market, I find that it's around 65%. It's right on par with the national level. We have been getting the data, so the day I get my leads, the way I've designed it, I have a guy, a virtual assistant that the spreadsheet gets emailed to him. He references 4 different county tax sites in my local market. And what he'll look at first is he'll do an address search, which is the obvious. If the deceased last known address is part of the data we give you, he'll look at that. If it comes up and it's pretty obvious, and then he'll yes or no if we're real estate owned. If he doesn't come up with a result on the address search, then he will look at a name search. He'll search by last name. And sometimes you'll see that last name pop up, and it might even be a different piece of real estate because maybe they were living with a family member and the house is sitting vacant. There's a lot of different scenarios, but you can, by searching by address and name and looking at the executor's name, you can oftentimes kind of put the picture together and know where the real estate is, if there is real estate. So they could have been living with, a matching last name. That could have been their son or daughter at the time of death. But if you search by the name and another address comes up, that might have been the real estate they owned. So just don't, if you are going to do this, don't short sell yourself by not looking at enough data, searching in enough ways. And to kind of help you guys understand, I know that's probably a lot to digest. If you look on the Facebook Mastermind page, I updated my campaign outline, and I added that in there. And I also updated the scripting. So I now have an inbound script and an outbound script. I've talked about it on these calls, but I've never actually taken the time to sit down and write it out. So 90% of my calls go a certain way, and inbound calls are way different than the outbound calls. So if you guys have a chance, jump on there and download that updated version and take a look at that. It'll kind of show you how. Imran, if you want to chime in and add, every courthouse is going to be different. Imran has had really good success with scrubbing his list and getting really high conversion rates.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do it manually with my assistant does that.
Anyway, so back on agenda, the good news for the week, we got a ton of new subscribers, some really great people that we've got some people that took the leap, and this is one of their first marketing campaigns ever. They're new to the industry, and they're taking action and kicking butt. And then we've got some senior folks that have been in the business for 40 years. And the common denominator we see here is people that actually pick this up, and the moment they get their leads, have a plan, a solid why in place. There's no surprise. The people that are doing something are getting huge results. And there's nothing more I enjoy than that. I love hearing your all stories. So some other good news, we've got the updated campaign doc I talked about, so be sure to get that. We're going to have that uploaded on the back end of the website in the members area. We were also, I've tweaked a little bit the copy and the probate letters 1, 2, and 3. I've cleaned up some copy, and then we've also added a 4th letter that Paul Hayhurst has had some really good success with in Florida. It's kind of the same idea, same general information, but listed in bullet points, and he's had really good response rate off of that. So that letter's also there and on the Facebook page. And then we've got another, I guess it's not time to announce it, but we've connected with another company. A lot of people on this call are with Vulcan 7, and that's been great. We've got a pretty seamless integration. We're integrating with another one of the big dialer/technology companies in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have that to announce. And we're moving toward a direction. What we've learned with everybody is and we spend a lot of one-on-one time, and the people who are the most successful are the ones that have called us up and said, hey, just walk me through this. And I know not everybody is comfortable doing that. So the direction we're moving is creating a kind of a probate strategy jumpstart program. So for those of you that have signed up and the new people signing up, we can carve out a half an hour and sit down and kind of say, all right, what does your business look like? Where do you want to be? What are your goals for this pillar in your business? And then kind of give you some suggestions on how to execute and put together a strategy rather than saying, just go to the Facebook page and download a document. So we understand that need. We see it, and we're moving in that direction. So we'll have more information on that as it comes together over the next few weeks. But my favorite part of these calls is hearing what's working for people. And for those of you that were here last week, David Bryant is one of our newest subscribers. He's had some
I'm on the phone.
Amazing success. Are you here, David?
Yeah, just came on. Hey, guys, how's it going?
If you don't mind, David, just kind of tell everybody, you're just, I guess, a couple of weeks into it. Just kind of tell us what you're doing that's working, what you've learned, what hurdles you might be having.
Well, I'm going to let my guys also, jump into the conversation. I've got Mitch here and I've got Chuck here. And basically, we've got about 400 leads. I told Jim to go back a couple of months and give me the current month's leads and then go back a couple of months. So we had plenty of stuff in the pipeline. I've basically have structured and fashioned a new direct mail letter that I'm happy to share with everybody. Probably like you guys, none of us really knew what we were getting into. We didn't know what to say, what not to say. What I've told my guys is, we're offering a service that these people really need. And, we don't need to try to take an aggressive approach, tell them necessarily how wonderful we are and how much stuff we sell and blah, blah, blah. I just think we offer service that they need and we care about it. We're here to help them. And that needs to be our message when we call them over the phone. So since Monday, Chuck's called a few people. Mitch called me. You there? Hello?
That's not going to work.
What is that? The hell is it?
That's the dog probate program.
That was the probate dog, my business program.
Dogs have deceased as well.
Okay, all right. You want me to keep talking or not? Can you hear me? Keep talking or not?
Yeah, keep going.
You there? Okay. So, anyway, and I got Mitch standing here. I'll let Mitch jump in on the conversation. Just tell him, what what you came up with, what kind of objections and so forth that you've gotten over the phone.
I've had overall 99% positive responses from everyone. And again, like David said, I'm taking a real easy approach with them, not overly aggressive at all. Kind of, I guess you could say, talking sweet to them. And some of them, you can't even get them off the phone because they're so interested in what you're talking about. Some of them just want to talk to somebody. But surprisingly, overwhelmingly positive response with the phone call.
And, we've gotten about 10 interested parties, and I think we'll get about 5 listings in our first week.
That's
10 days. I think it's a flat money maker is what I think.
I think you should be able to get, if you're on it all day, at least 1 to 2 meetings set every day.
Now, have you guys sent the letter yet, or you just drafted that letter?
No, she just threw the final draft of it now. So we've been on the phone with no letter.
Wow, that's great.
Are you guys calling too?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's all we're doing.
Okay, that's all I do.
So
now, when you mentioned that you are also subscribing to old leads, how many months did you go back?
Well, I went back a couple of months because, see, guys, this is what I did not understand, is how long does it take, before somebody wants to sell the property, and I didn't understand really the probate process, and so I just thought, I said, well, I'm just trying to take the low-hanging fruit. I said, Jim, give me a couple of months of leads in arrears so that, we got something to work with right off the bat. Because I would say, as soon as somebody dies, they're not going to turn around and sell the property. They're in shock for probably, 30, 60, 90 days before they do anything. I think. You guys tell me. I don't know.
No, different people
you're right sometimes. I have found people they're saying they listed already. I found people they're saying that it will take a couple of months. And some of them said it might be like within a month or two. So if we go back 3 months, then they're ready now. If we go back 9 months, you can't probably find anyone. Everybody's settled.
Yeah, and that was my premise when I asked Jim for the leads, is, I wanted something to generate cash flow right now. So that's why I did it.
The worst thing, I believe, if we go back 3 to 5 months, that some of them, they've already got an investor call or they're already searching for a realtor and they're speaking to someone. If you have a brand new lead, which is a month old, nobody reached out to them. They're not even thinking to putting the property on the market. They're just in the process of filing the probate. So that's a good thing because you're the first one to contact them, or maybe someone who is the second or third person to contact them.
Well, let me also ask the guys this: you have not called anybody, Mitch, that said, we've been contacted by somebody else.
Not one person.
We don't have anybody in a million population base here that's doing this.
I have come across people numerous times that have already listed the property, but they have not received any phone calls or any contact such as ours.
Go ahead. I've got to take this call. Go ahead, keep talking, guys.
All right. Who else has a system that's working for them in their market?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Oh, left phone. I thought it was a pre-recorded call. Sorry, this is Deirdre Burbo. I just started with you today, so I don't have my lead yet. But I was buying from another company, and what we did is we just put our face on, but we're investors, so we just put our face on saying, we'll pay all closing costs, realtor fees, things like this. And we get a pretty good response, and we just keep following up. But we didn't have phone numbers or anything.
So you're just approaching them as an investor?
Yes, and I use my personal name, not my company name, and I do a personal envelope, not my company envelope. And then we go meet them. We bring them comps. My business partner is a realtor. So if it is a retail deal, we put it on for them, whatever's going to fetch them the best price. But we just had a condo we rehabbed, and we told them this condo needs a little updating, and you'll get your best price retail. We'll put it on the market for you. And they said, no, we just want to sell and move on, and we rehabbed it and made, $50,000 on it. So, we tell them what's going to be in their favor. We don't want to rip anybody off, but if they want to go and have us rehab it instead, we'll buy it for less.
No, that's. It's amazing. Everybody has different reasons for what they do. I bought a house last week, $22,000 that is worth as is. As it sits. It's I could, if we clean. It was a hoarder house, so if we would have cleaned it out and just put some lipstick on it, we could have probably gotten 50. But they just totally didn't. They didn't want to deal with it. I put my investor hat on and bought it instead of listed it. And guess what? I'll make a lot more money. So it's good that you do have kind of a full service team. I mean, you can take it to the retail side or to the investor side. What so I find in my market probably less than 10% of the leads that we have are anywhere close to a cash price. What would you say, just rough numbers? I mean, what do you feel like, how many people are motivated enough to take a cash offer versus list and sell the home for retail?
I couldn't tell you. It just depends on the home, and it depends where the heirs live. But I think one good way to go is to figure out all the probate lawyers and really approach them and have lunch meetings with them and sit down with them. And if you are a realtor and aren't an investor, that you find an investor with cash that will buy all your deals. And then you now are a full service agency basically, because you don't want to throw away the lead.
Yeah, and that's what, we tell that's kind of one of the first steps for those of you on the line that are realtors that are just getting your team in place. If you don't have a cash buyer list, then do that like yesterday. Find some solid investors, and you can do that by searching. If you look at your county tax site and look for multiple transfers in a year, find out who owns the LLC and go buy them lunch. And the other way, if you're an investor and you don't have a real estate agent that will drop everything he's doing or she's doing and come, take care of your stuff, and find that too, because you'll both make a lot more money. So that's great. I look forward to hearing how much of a difference the phone numbers make in your business. I think it'll be a big impact.
Mhm.
You had mentioned you were taking the approach of networking with the attorneys, and that's in my state. Attorneys don't handle probate, at least in my market. So unfortunately, I don't get the attorney data like most of all our other subscribers do. What have you found is the best approach for getting your foot in the door and getting those attorney referrals?
The attorneys, sending them a letter with a card, but just calling them and saying that you do. We also do short sales. So, we let them know we can do everything for their people. We could do short sales. We could do reverse mortgage. We negotiate short sales. We're realtors and we're investors, so we can do anything. And if you don't have those capabilities, again, just put people on board, because you don't want to call up and just be, a listing realtor and they say they just want to sell, they want cash, and you turn down the offer. So you just have those two people in your pocket. But lawyers are lawyers. They want to find solutions for their people. They're just people that want to find solutions for their people. So face-to-face is best. I almost meet nobody. So when we do meet people, it's impressive. They're impressed because, we're sitting at our desks meeting no one. So when we do go out and make an effort, they appreciate it. So that's what we found anyway. We are in Connecticut.
Well, thanks for sharing. I'm glad you spoke up.
I thought I thought it was pre-recorded. So if you heard any comments, sorry about that. I was like, this is pre-recorded and there's a dog barking. Why are they putting this out there? So
I'm gonna confess that was my business partner. I'm the guilty party. The UPS guy.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just thought it was funny if you were doing it as a pre-recorded one. I'm like, that's funny.
It makes it more believable.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, does anyone else have anything they want to share? Any success stories, challenges you need help with from the group?
I'd be real interested to hear some more feedback a few weeks from now, once we have some meetings set and see how those go.
Yeah, I believe so. It'll take about a couple of weeks before we see some listings.
Yeah.
How often do you do this phone call? Because I literally called Jim 15 minutes ago, and he said right now we have a phone call. I just literally called him 15 minutes ago and signed on. We
do this every Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern, and we have 7 that are archived right now, and Facebook, our Mastermind group on Facebook has kind of become the archive and where those live. So if you want to, and guys, for those of you that haven't found it, it's All the Leads Mastermind. If you just search that and request access, we'll let you into that, and that's where we have all the updated letters and the scripts and probate campaigns and stuff like that. And that is a quick video for just kind of how to get started up and use the member site and get the most value out of what we've got.
Okay.
Well, if nobody has anything, we're at 22 minutes. That's I think we went a little bit short this week. Is there anything else anybody would like to add?
No.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming, everybody, and thanks for sharing. And I look forward to some new success stories next week.
Thank you so much.
Guys. Thank you.